right, viewers, this is seen as a big, massive move against what is seen till now regressive mindsets, where glass ceilings, where women and the armed forces are concerned. The latest in that, in a big move, the Supreme Court has allowed girls to sit for the National Defence Academy entrance exams. The apex court rapped the army for not allowing girls to take admission in Rashtriya Indian Military College and Sainik schools and dragging its feet on taking a policy decision. In an interim order, the court allowed girls to take the entrance exam scheduled on September 5th, while the decision on actual admissions will be taken after the case concludes. The court's order in an interim measure against gender discrimination. The order has been passed in two petitions, one challenging the restrictive policy that bars women from joining NDA and the other by the father of a girl who wants to join the Rashtriya Indian Military College in Dehradun. I want to connect immediately to my colleague Abhishek Bhalla, who's joining us live with the very latest. Abhishek, what does it actually mean? Break it down for our viewers. Girls to be able to sit in for the NDA examination means what? Literally so.
It's a first step, Preeti, towards perhaps a larger reform, because until now women candidates could not take the exam of the National Defence Academy. Now that the court has said that they would be eligible to at least take the exam, at a later stage perhaps it would mean that this would pave the way for women to be part of the National Defence Academy and facilitate their permanent commission as well, because as of now the policy is such that the men who join the National Defence Academy subsequently go on to their service academies. For example, if you are an army cadet, you end up being in the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun, from where you get your commission as a permanent commission officer of the Indian Army. Now, while the Supreme Court had earlier allowed permanent commission to women as well, and also allowed command positions to women, there still is no provision for women to join the NDA. So perhaps at some point of time, this order will pave the way for women joining NDA and thereby getting permanent commission as well.
Abhishek, before I let you go, two very quick questions. Number one, is the government looking to oppose this order from the Supreme Court? Because usually we've seen when it comes down to combat, the government has vociferously opposed that women right now are not ready for combat, at least in court.
Well, as of now, Preeti, the issue is not relating to combat, because not every male cadet who reaches NDA and then IMA does not get into combat duties. They could be getting into other, wings of the Indian Army, which are non-combat wings. So why stop the women? Perhaps that's the line that the court is taking. Combat is a completely different policy issue that can be, taken on at a later stage, but here the court is only trying to decide how can you stop a woman from taking an exam to the National Defence Academy when they've already allowed permanent commission for women in the army.
Appreciate you joining us, Abhishek. We're going to continue to come back to you for further updates. So at least in this case, we will see that the government will not be opposing or at least, filing a petition where this order is concerned. A big move. Women will now be able to sit for the National Defence Academy examination. We're going to quickly now shift focus on all that is going down right now in the country of Afghanistan. Abject mayhem, abject chaos, as we saw visuals of Taliban fighters take to the streets of Kabul and the entire country. All right, but we're going to cut across right now to Pakistan. A horrific incident has happened where one woman who was a TikTok star was assaulted by hundreds of men. Take a look.
One woman attacked by 400 men in the heart of Lahore. What could be more shocking and barbaric than this? And all this happening on Pakistan's Independence Day. The defenseless woman, a TikTok star, was shoved, groped, slapped, tossed in the air by a lecherous mob of 400. The act even being captured on cameras by those standing by and watching the whole incident unfold. The despicable crime took place near the historic Minar-e-Pakistan at Greater Iqbal Park in Lahore. The woman and 6 of her friends were there to shoot a video for Independence Day celebrations. Even as they were recording the video, some men closed in on the TikTok star, began assaulting her. Soon, every man who was present there joined in. What's appalling was not one man among the hundreds came to the woman's rescue. The woman eventually got out of the clutches of the mob and managed to escape.
मुझे कुछ भी समझ नहीं आ रहा था. लोग मुझे टॉर्चर कर रहे थे, मेरे साथ खेल रहे थे. मैं अपनी बॉडी के हर ऐसा कोई पार्ट नहीं है जहाँ पे मेरे निशान नहीं है. जो लोग मुझे बचा रहे थे वही लोग मुझे उछाल रहे थे. एक कपड़े उतारता था तो दूसरा रखता था तो वो दूसरा खींचने की कोशिश करता था.
ये वो जगह है शामी साहब जहाँ खड़े होकर हम कश्मीर की माओ बहनों और बेटियों के लिए आवाज बुलंद करते रहे हैं. किस मुंह से कश्मीर की माओ बहनों और बेटियों की बात करते हैं जब हमारे यहाँ पे अपनी माएं बहनें और बेटियां महफूज नहीं है.
An FIR was registered against hundreds of unidentified assailants for assaulting and stealing from the victim and her friends. That such an act was allowed to go on for about an hour in a crowded area shows the state of law and order in Lahore, particularly when it's a woman who is the subject of a crime. With Anil Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Viewers, let's move on right now to the state of Afghanistan. The biggest collateral in all of this are the women of the state, and things are only going to get worse, even though the Taliban till now says that women can be part of governance, they can continue to study and work. But history stands testimony that this is not how the Taliban operates. It is the rise of Taliban 2.0. Burqa, barbarism, and brutality. For now, this is the reality of Afghanistan. Pictures of women on beauty parlors defaced. Posters of women on the roadside removed.
This pictures from this shops clearly painting by some people, by the shopkeeper, by some Taliban. You see it in the picture.
Future is uncertain for the people of Afghanistan, especially women.
As an MP, as a female, as someone who is coming from civil society activism and human rights, women rights activism. So coming from these background, for sure I'm afraid of myself, my life, and my freedom to work and my freedom to speak up.
I, as a female member of the National Para-Olympic Committee of Afghanistan, Para Taekwondo, with all the struggles I have been through, I am currently imprisoned inside the house. I cannot even go outside around this house with confidence and with security, go out to buy just a few things for myself, to train, to check on how anyone else is.
و فامیل من در هرات در شهری است که کل شهر طالبان تصرف کرده و خود من در خانه.
Taliban has claimed that women have nothing to fear under its regime. This image from Jalalabad shows exactly why not. Jalalabad incident wasn't an isolated one.
The international community, if they have concerns, we would like to assure them that there's not going to be any discrimination against women, but of course within the frameworks that we have.
But can the Taliban be taken at face value? The footage shows a Taliban official in a heated argument with a person in a market of Kabul. The verbal spat soon escalated into something more dangerous. As the fear of Taliban barbarity rise, activists are urging the world to ensure the safety of Afghan nationals left in the lurch.
This is actually an urgent humanitarian crisis right now that we need to provide our help and support. We cannot just look at our screens and not do anything and just get into the politics of, what should have happened, what shouldn't have happened. And that is something that, that we will do at some point. That is going to be part of our future work. But right now, we need to make sure that the people of Afghanistan are safe.
20 years after it was removed from the helm of affairs, Taliban is once again in charge. The atrocities they committed during this 5-year rule still haven't faded from the memories of most. Fear is widespread in Afghanistan. Bureau Report, India Today. Right now, the streets of Kabul are synonymous with salwar kameez wearing Talibanis. However, viewers, there is something more to the Taliban, and that is the Badri 313 elite commando unit.
When you think of the Taliban, you think of that stereotypical terrorist image in their traditional garb wielding a Kalashnikov rifle. An image visible very clearly when they posed inside Kabul's presidential palace. But the Taliban's muscle has another side to it. What you're looking at is the Badri 313 battalion, a special commando-style unit that is securing the Taliban's hold over Kabul and other parts of Afghanistan. As the Taliban took over the presidential palace, the Badri 313 fanned out across Kabul, keeping a hawk's eye on any reprisals. And in case you hadn't noticed, the Badri 313 looks like any modern special forces unit. Take a close look at this image of the unit. Observe how well equipped the soldiers are. Apart from that big Taliban flag they're wielding, the Badri 313 soldiers wield modern assault rifles, modern firearms, updated combat clothing including protective vests and pads, and even night vision optical devices attached to their combat helmets. While training and tactics are definitely everything, a cursory look at the Badri 313 in comparison to Indian and Pakistani special forces shows that they definitely look at least geared for the part. Earlier comprised of a mix of militant groups, the Badri 313 now operates with the Taliban. The name of the unit originates from the Battle of Badr, in which Muhammad led a victorious army of 313 men. Indoctrinated with the Taliban's brand of militant Islam, with a name that harks back to an ancient religious war, but kitted out for the modern battlefield. The Badri 313 train like any commando unit, with all manner of tactical, storming and attack training conducted at undisclosed locations in the hinterland. The high-quality images released on social media by the Badri 313 last week also appear pointed at serving a purpose. Experts believe it could be the Taliban sending out a signal that they aren't a ragtag movement of farmers and shepherds who live by stealing weapons, but have embraced modern military methods, even special forces operation tactics. The Badri 313 unit has already begun to secure Kabul and other areas, imposing the will of the Taliban. With the Taliban now in power, there's every reason to believe that the militia could grow in strength. Expect to see much more of the Badri 313 in the weeks and months ahead. Bureau Report, India Today.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching a fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. There was an image which was very disturbing, floating about, suggesting a man clinging on to an aircraft. Well, there have been images like that which are true, but this one, viewers, is photoshopped. With this fact check, time for us to go into a quick break. To stay with us. News and updates on the other side. It's to the point.